Welcome to the Grace Space. This is day 11 of my 30-day challenge where I am showing up for myself every day, staying consistent, pushing through, and sharing my journey. And today I want to talk about something I have had to learn the hard way over the years, and that is work stress. What I wish I knew earlier and the ways that I've learned to manage that over the year. I've been in corporate for a long time. I've worked at some of the top companies like Apple, Nike, and I've seen a lot. And as I step into my 40s, I realized that work is just work. And it's a part of my life, but it is definitely not my whole life. And trust me when I say that that mindset shift is a huge burden off of you, and it saved me so much stress. One of the biggest lessons I've learned is you are replaceable. And that's not a bad thing necessarily. It's just a fact. And the more I know a lot of us get into these roles and we pour our heart and soul into a job. But at the end of the day, if you leave, they're going to replace you. If you get laid off like I was, you can check that story out somewhere on here. It feels personal, and I'm learning that it's just not. It's just business. My husband has had to reiterate that to me multiple times over the past 9 years of our marriage, and it's just a fact. You are just a number, and that's okay once you actually accept the fact. So knowing this, right? Why are we stressing ourselves to the point of burnout? Why are we neglecting our families, our passions, our health for a job? We're here today, but we could be gone tomorrow. And just that perspective shift alone has made me stop overexerting myself for any opportunity, really. Another thing I'm learning is boundaries. If you don't set them, people will just keep taking from you. I used to feel guilty for stepping away from my desk when my kids needed me or adjusting my schedule to be around my family. But why? You know what I mean? People do it all the time. You don't owe anybody 24/7 of your day. It's just your job. It's not your life. Some boundaries I've put in place is, I don't take meetings before a certain time. So 8:30, 8:45 is pushing it, unless it's an emergency. My mornings are mine. As I mentioned, praying in the morning, preparing my kids for school, and centering myself so that I can even start the day properly. So I don't take meetings past a certain time. I also shut my laptop down at a certain time because the work will be there tomorrow. So signing off. See you tomorrow. And I don't blur the line between business and personal relationships. I feel like when I was younger, this was a really hard one to swallow. I'm cool with my coworkers, but these people are not my friends. It's a very small chance that we will become friends. There are people that I have become close friends with, but it's very rare. That's been hard, but it's been very necessary to not blur those lines between work and coworkers. I have learned that my friends at work are just work friends. That's cool. You might be cool at lunch, have some jokes in the meetings, but at the end of the day, those relationships are just tied to my job. They are not going to be checking for you if it came between you and them. And I've had this happen even recently, but when I come home, then I talk to my real friends, people who love me outside of an opportunity, and keeping the separation will save you a lot of time and a lot of stress. Trust me. This is a really big one for me. I've always had this belief that if I handle everything myself, that if I do it myself, that it won't get done. If I don't do it myself, it won't get done. But in this corporate world, especially as you move up and you learn how to delegate, that's the difference between staying stressed and leveling up. I've had an experience more recently where I'm just oh, I don't have to manage all that. I'm used to having to do everything. I think that's really just a trauma response for me. And just showing my worth, but really like it's okay to not have all the answers. In my role as a program manager, producer, whatever that looks like, I don't need to know everything, but my job isn't to do everything. It's to just manage the process and to guide the team and to make sure things get done. I don't have to be the one doing it all though. Like once I embrace that, my stress levels drop significantly. So how do I, with all that said, manage stress? Here's what helps me. I just cut off. Cut off time matters. I log off. I don't check emails late at night. Work will be there tomorrow. Number two, what else do I do? You know, my mindset shift. You can only do so much. So reminding myself that I did my best today and that's enough. What else? Taking breaks. Even if it's 5 minutes, I need to take a break. I need to step away. I need to go take a walk, go outside, breathe some fresh air, reset. Educating myself. I invest in learning. You know, not like I haven't done such a good job at this, but this is something that's been on my radar. Not just about my job, but just how do I manage my career, my time, my stress better. Just educating myself. And then lastly, remembering my why. You know, I work to provide for my family, to fund my passions, to create a life that I love, not to be grinding, to be self-seeking, you know, not to be like pick me girl at work, like not to make a ton of friends. You know, I'm there for these reasons. So that's where I'm at with my work stress. I don't have it all figured out yet, but the lessons that I have learned have helped me along the way. So I hope that it helped you too. Set your boundaries, protect your peace, and just remember, it's just work. If this episode resonated with you, please let me know in the comments, how do you handle your work stress? What has been the hardest part and the lessons that you've learned along the way? Let's talk about it in the comments, please, please, please. And of course, if you haven't already, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. It really helps my channel grow, keeps me in the algorithm, keeps me accountable, and I will see you next time. Actually, tomorrow. Bye.